Fowler joins us from Amman in Jordan. He's the spokesperson for UNRWA, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees. Thank you for your time, Jonathan. The big question really is whether this classification will make any difference for the people of Gaza and also for the Israeli government.
I mean, we have to hope so. You know, we've been warning for months upon months about the risk of famine being confirmed in the Gaza Strip. And there's nothing natural about this. This is starvation by design. I mean, it's man-made, and it's man-made by the government of Israel. There was a policy choice. There have been repeated policy choices, actually, over the course of this war to either bar humanitarian aid or only allow a trickle in. And then at the beginning of March, complete ban, and then a trickle again from May. So, I mean, it's no mystery why this is happening. But the question is, will change come? I mean, it has to come. It has to come. You know, this is a population reaching a tipping point. It's absolutely scandalous that this has been created, this situation. It's a direct result of banning food and basic supplies for months. I mean, there's no question about that.
Yeah, and as we've heard, you can't just cure famine just by supplying immediate necessities, because it takes time. People have medical conditions that have come from a lack of food and the diseases that are spreading because of a lack of clean water, etc. What does UNRWA have available to send to Gaza?
We have huge amounts of humanitarian aid sitting in warehouses in Jordan, where I am now, and also in Egypt. That could go in immediately if the Israeli authorities allowed this to happen. The thing is, they are not. And the question has to be, why will they not do this? I mean, there's been this massive focus on this Israeli-American scheme, the so-called Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is not functional. It's barely a drop in the ocean. And that has been seen to be the solution. The issue is there is a United Nations-led humanitarian aid system that functions around the world in natural disasters, in war zones. And if that was allowed to operate, as we showed during the ceasefire, it can begin to meet the needs of a population under siege. And this has not been allowed. That is deliberate.
Jonathan, Gazan authorities say there are more than 16,000 patients in the enclave who need treatment abroad, and already more than 600 patients have died because they haven't managed to get that treatment. When Israel ended the ceasefire in the middle of March, there's been a drastic reduction in the amount of people who are allowed to leave Gaza to get that treatment that they need in other countries. Generally, was UNRWA involved in those kind of procedures to help people get out of Gaza to going receive medical treatment abroad? Was that also part of your work?
We cooperated with our other parts of the United Nations on this, notably the World Health Organization. I mean, our operations have been severely constrained, but we remain the largest humanitarian organization operating on the ground. We see around 14,000 patients per day in the clinics that we're still able to run, because we were a major healthcare provider in the Gaza Strip under our mandate even before this war began. So yes, we have been involved in that, but you know, restricting the exit of patients who desperately need humanitarian aid is part of a pattern which also includes heavily restricting the kind of medicines that can come in, or all of these things. I mean, it's like a web of problems, and it's the people who are paying the price on the ground.
Just quickly, Jonathan, they're asking me to move on. Obviously, we're a full hour of international news. Do you have any hope that the restrictions placed on UNRWA by the Israeli government will change, or do you just see no prospect of that while this particular administration stays in charge?
I mean, if we didn't have any kind of hope about any situation as the UN, it would be very difficult for us to function. We have to live on, even if we're living on fumes. The issue is we have to have some hope. Currently, the scenario is very, very bleak, I have to say. But if we don't have hope, and indeed including hope for our colleagues who are working on the ground and paying with their lives, almost 360 of them have been killed, then we would not be able to continue functioning.
Yeah, and of course, just to remind the viewers that you don't only work in Gaza, you work with Palestinian refugees across the Middle East. Jonathan, thank you so much.